Hey, welcome back again to Auto Transport Intel. It is Thursday. It's approximately noon Central Time. That means it's time for Dispatching Live load board search advice, where Sue and I go live for 90 minutes. We're going to look at the load boards. We're going to talk about what's happening with loads and the weather. We're going to have to talk about the weather. Do me a favor, we're going to be live for 90 more minutes, and the show is just getting started. So after you hit that like button, please do click that share button. You see it right below the video. After you click share, you can click copy. You can grab that YouTube link, text it, email it, share it on social media, tap a friend on the shoulder. Carrier, dispatcher, friend of the family that's trying to learn. We get a lot of requests about dispatching videos, dispatcher training, and lots of questions. So this is the show for that. So this is the perfect time to tune in, get help, and also if you've got deep business questions, right? You want to get started, or you got a problem, or you're trying to grow, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up. We'll put you in touch with Ty Thompson, our carrier relations coach, get you on the weekly email blast for the Tuesday night show, and maybe you can be our next guest on a roundtable. Please do say hello in the live chat. We got Murphy Auto Transport in the live chat. And let's see here. Check. Let's tap that thing. Am I on the right live chat? I'm going to have to check that. Okay, cool. I'll do that. So let's do this. Before we go any further, let's say hello to Sue. Nope,
Hey,
not showing up there. Yeah, okay. Hey, Sue, can you see me and hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see the map.
Ooh,
Before we talk about the weather, how are you doing?
yeah, I am doing better today. At least the stuff's starting to melt, and my water came on in the office, so that was a bonus. My house is still frozen, but
Whoa. Your
we're
house
dealing with.
water is frozen?
Yeah, part of my house is frozen. Like half the town, I think their houses are frozen. It just got. I mean, we had negative 14 or 15 here, and if it's not that, then it's only like 1 degree, or it's it's been really cold. So
Really?
we're not used to that. And even our people, everybody's let their pipes, drip out of their faucets. It didn't matter. They're still freezing up, which is crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm preoccupied with my live chat link. So my live chat, my live chat Zoom, my live chat's my on-screen live chat. Let me try this one more time. Let me try and troubleshoot here. Troubleshooting live. So while your pipes are frozen, my live chat code seems to be frozen. Let's try this one more time. So if you're just tuning in, Jay is troubleshooting live. See if that will work. It's not working. That's frustrating. Oh well. Well, we can't see the live chat on the screen, but you can still join in the live chat. Please do. And let's say hello in the live chat. We've got, all right, Murphy Auto Transport is in here. And we got Fall of Lives. We hear you loud and clear. Cool. Thanks for tuning in, Fall of Lives. Really appreciate it. Julissa Camposano is in here. Hey, what's up, Julissa? Ty from Cars on the Move is here. Loves the show. Loves Sue. Ty's in love with Sue. And Craig Hinshaw is in here. What's up, Craig Hinshaw? Yeah, I hit the live chat screen button. Can't see it. It's probably because, remember I told you I shocked my system before we went live, and that's what, I don't have frozen pipes. I do have power, but has anybody else had lots of like static energy, and you're just walking, you go to get the coffee and you touch the wall and you get shocked again, you go to turn on a lamp. I'm just getting shocked like crazy. I don't know if it's the cold weather or what it is. But and Reese Kreitzer is here. So we're talking about the weather. You know what I'm excited to talk about, Sue, is that, you know what we've got today? Aside from standard load board search advice. All right, here's some great news. And you know this. Sue, you know this, and so we're going to talk about it. Central Dispatch, the word on the street is they're working on improving their rating system. So I'm not making an official announcement, but that is the kind of great news that we want as a community, right?
Yeah.
We
Yes,
do
absolutely. Because I
exactly.
major problem with.
We do kind of a lot of whining and complaining on this show. You know, I got all my props. which you're going to see more props today. I got my Mug-O problems. There's a lot happening in dispatching, and we talk about it. But we do appreciate good news. That's why we do so much complaining. If the world was perfect, this show would be really dull. And I'm sure right now there's a driver like, yeah, this show's dull anyways, Jay. You can't fix that. But having said that, we really do appreciate some of that good news. And so I want to focus on that today. I want to talk about rating systems as it's relevant within our load board searches. By the way, Sue, let's go to the central dispatch screen. Didn't you say we have a little bit other good news aside from, that?
We have 48,138 loads on the board right now.
Come again?
Of course,
how many?
Top again. 48,138 loads total. And I swear to you, Jay, last week when we pulled these up, these stupid Alaska things came up too, and they're at the top again.
They did.
And they're highlighted again. They say $1. I don't get it.
Well, now, that's because you did all-to-all, right?
Yes, I always do all-to-all.
Yeah, and Alaska, those are, the Red Devil loads will probably always show up on top on an all-to-all, which is funny.
I know, but it's the same company listing the same ones again. I mean, you're not going to go anywhere for $1 anyways, but that's beside the point. I mean, I don't know.
Do they have so many loads that they just put placeholders? Is that what's maybe? I don't know.
I don't know.
Welcome to
some weird stuff.
Welcome to Speculation Live. Yeah. Still nothing in the live chat. I can see the live chat. I know it's. I'll tell you what. I know it's because I shocked my. Or I'll tell you what. Let's do this. I'm gonna go around to the. I'm gonna walk around to the back panel. I never do this. Right? We're live. I'm gonna be unplugged for a second here. I'm gonna unplug this USB thing and replug it in. When in doubt, reboot, because I want to see the stuff on the screen. Hey, will you answer the live? Talk to the live chat for a second, Sue. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what we got on here. Ron looks like he's in Oklahoma. He's got a deep freeze in Oklahoma, but he's coming out of it and asks if everyone is safe and warm. Yeah, I'm with you, Ron. I'm not too far from you. And we've been hit, twice this week? And then last week was ice.
Just got shocked again, actually. I did.
Don't touch
I just got shocked again. I can't believe this is crazy. All right, I'm not moving.
And I know places that normally do not get weather, like Houston, Dallas, Nashville, Memphis.
Okay, what are the hours tomorrow?
We're all getting covered up for the last 2 weeks. It was ice last week, and it's been snow and ice this week, and it's been pretty rough. I've been trying to keep what little drivers I do have on the road south, like Louisiana. We did Louisiana and Alabama. I am sending them up now, going up towards Ohio, but it's supposed to be clearing out today, so I'm hoping everything will be all right after we get through there. Because like everybody knows, I like to go to Ohio.
Get your home and everything in.
That's what we're gonna do. So, says there's something else here. It says I'm stuck. My driver needs to go from New York to Montana. That's a rough run, Vlad. I don't do that run, but we can look it up if you want to see what's on here. Let's see. Where at in New York are you, Vlad? Are we across the bridge? Or are we upstate New York? And where do you want to go in Montana? I bet I could probably put up Montana, and there's probably not going to be a lot. So let's just try that. Let's start there. And I'll just put in New York, period. Yeah, and then this guy, Blackie TY5570, he's in Houston. Yeah, I've got a driver sitting at his house. He's had no power since, I think, Monday.
I got it.
Finally working now?
I fixed it. Yeah, man.
Good, okay.
That is so cool. So thank you all so much for putting up with my kinetic energy and shock value. We're back. We got the live chat on the screen. And I do want to say, I want to continue to say hello. We got Blackie. Well, it's Black Tie 5570. Says these are so informative. Thank you so much, Black Tie. Ron says stack deep freeze in Oklahoma, but coming out of it, how is everyone safe and warm, I hope? Yes, thank you, Ron. We hope so, too. Seeing some crazy messages. Julissa loves the Mug-O problems. Yes, Julissa, I love it, too. I actually, I can't believe I a Muggo Problems. We should sell these. This is great. Thank you so much. We will please remind me to dive into the Muggo Problems because there's some great stuff in there. Lots of wisdom. Lots of problems. Black Tie says, I'm just beginning to get in the business, waiting on truck and trailer and DOT to come. Keep us posted. Yeah, Texas is a mess right now. It's national news. Listen, I just posted a podcast thing. We were so on DOT yesterday. We saw a meme and it said El Paso or El Smasho, and it was talking about don't pass a truck on the right side. And so I named the podcast that, and that has nothing to do with because then I read a headline like Texas is humiliated. Really? That's a headline? Because of power outages? I hate that kind of. For the record, I hate that kind of stuff. And then I post El Paso or El Smasho. So I'm thinking of going back and editing that because I'm not getting on that. Like, what is going on? What else we got here? Vlad says, hello, everyone. I'm stuck. My driver needs to go from New York to Montana. Okay, well, we're going to look at that. What do you think of that, Sue?
So I don't go that direction, but I pulled it up for him.
Okay. See?
I asked him.
She already pulled it up. What'd you ask him?
Yeah, kind of where we're at in New York and we're at in Montana. So what I did was I just pulled up New York, period. Although I know, depending on where he's at, he may go through New Jersey or other places. But I just pulled up New York. I put in Montana, I put in Wyoming, I put in South Dakota, and I put in Nebraska. Because technically, you're going to go through there. We probably could have put in Minnesota, too. And you can take different routes to go this way. I just didn't know where he was going into Montana, so that's why I guess I could put in North Dakota too. Let's put in North Dakota.
That is a great one to search right now because aside from the normal problems, you've got additional problems. So that is a tough route right now. So thanks for posting that, Vlad. We're gonna look at that. Black Tie says, Vlad, be safe out there. It's a mess. I'm in Houston, and it don't make no sense. Right. Ron Sestak, yep, water been frozen for a few days, but I got a trickle today. Yeah, it's the little things.
I felt about it when I walked in.
Oh, thank you, water trickle. Thank you. For real. That's funny how. In fact, I was watching Tootsie last night. There's a connection here, trust me.
What?
And yeah, I'm watching Tootsie, and Bill Murray was talking about how Bill Murray's his roommate, right? On Dustin Hoffman's roommate on Tootsie. It's worth going back and watching.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Back when everybody didn't hate Hollywood like crazy, right? You could never release that movie today. But Bill Murray was saying he would like to have a theater where it's only open when it's raining outside because when everybody comes in out of the rain, they're really in the moment of life. I raise this because that's that moment. If you are happy to have a trickle of water out of a faucet, you are really living life. All right. Yeah. Somehow I made a connection, I hope. Ron says, is there any loads out of Midlothian, Texas? Tahoe's preferred? Really? Tahoe's preferred? Sue, what would you say if your driver said that to you on the phone? I'm looking for loads out of Midlothian, and I'm looking for Tahoes.
I would say that's probably not going to happen.
And listen,
get what you get.
What we're giving you is honest dispatcher feedback. I was going to name the show that, but it sounded really trite. Ty says, "Who's your customer?" Good. Yeah, exactly. We're by the way, we're gonna look that up. Oh yeah, we're not just skipping it. Let me tell you. Midlothian, Texas is on the list.
When you tell me
that's going to be after New York to Montana. We're going to do Midlothian.
I got up New York.
Black Tie is letting us know that he's got to step away for a minute. No problem at all. I'll tell you what. I'm going to heat up my coffee. We'll wait for you.
Okay. So should we start? Let's start with the New York one, and then we can kind of move our way down. So I changed the New York one to add in Minnesota, and also we need to know how many cars you're looking for.
Oh yeah,
what size of trailer.
That's right. How many you need? We want to know what you can put it in the live chat. What's your route scout? And then what's your trailer capacity? And if there's any other details like picking up on Monday, looking for Tahoes only, go ahead and put that in the live chat. Craig Hinshaw says.
Okay, he said.
Oh. What's he say?
Well, Vlad is answering us as to what is going on. He said he's got cars in the new area going to Billings, Montana, and it is not my decision. My boss told me to do that. I'm with you, Vlad. I wouldn't send him there either.
That's hilarious.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
My boss told me
It's
to
gonna be a rough
do
getting
that.
out, too.
That's awesome, man. I wouldn't. Thank you, Vlad. You made my day. I love it when bosses tell you to do things and you can't figure out why they told you that. Now, that's the
he's
difference.
not going on vacation there.
Well, exactly. Because I'm going skiing. Didn't we cover this on the last show? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess he could be.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going skiing, so I'm gonna need loads because I'm taking the family skiing. Craig says, I'm from West Central Ohio. They say if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes and it will change. I've been waiting 5 days. I don't think they say that in West Central Ohio. I thought that was more like, is that Ohio? Where is it? Don't they say that
Missouri
in Florida?
Say that. No, I don't know about that. Missouri, that's a regular thing for us because
In Missouri,
we
yeah.
can have, at
say that
Christmas time
everywhere.
before, haven't we had like 5-degree weather or something like that? Yeah, that's probably the case. All right, so Vlad didn't tell us how many he's looking for, so we're just gonna kind of look at what's on.
Okay, wait.
There is a
Ron says, I love hauling Tahoe's badass excise language. What? Thanks for the comeback on the trickle of the water. Oh, man.
Oh.
Solo dispatching is here. We're having some fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, Sue. What are we? Oh, we got to get to business. Oh, man. Okay, wait. I got to get the... Okay, right, because why am I wearing a referee shirt? Why is there a dart? And why is there dice? Because it's the load board and anything can happen. And Kimberly says... It's going to pop up here in a second. Kimberly says Kansas. I think they say that about everywhere. All right.
Oh, probably.
Thanks for tuning in. I really do.
Okay, so Vlad's saying he's got a 9 car.
Appreciate you.
Well, there's a 5-pack on here.
Juan Adams is
going to Minnesota.
A 5-pack? Really? Ooh. Can you fit
Yeah.
that? What kind of trailer?
5-pack, 48 cents a mile. Well, he's a 9 car, so he can probably
he's
handle those SUVs. I don't know what else is wrong with it. But it's Newburgh, so Newburgh should be the Mannheim right there. Let's see. There's another one here in Newburgh, but it's another SUV going into Minnesota. I know you're wanting to go to Montana, but I don't know. Where's Bozeman compared to Billings? Let's look. I want to say it's too far.
Okay, it's the number
I don't
4.
do a lot of this kind of stuff. Yeah, it's past Billings.
03.
So,
0, 4,
how far is past Billings? And honestly, getting out of Montana, usually your loads are going to be either in Idaho, maybe Billings. I would, if he was wanting you to go that way, honestly, I would pull up out of Montana so you know what you're working with, to be honest with you. So you'll know where to kind of send them for the areas. Because Billings and Bozeman are 144 miles apart. So that's not very close.
Exactly. How many miles was it?
It's, well, this one here is 2214. I just put in New York. So
But I mean, from Billings to Bozeman, because that's the thing is, right in the Northwest, when you deadhead, buddy, you deadhead.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. I don't know if you took these loads to Minnesota, if they would get you to Bozeman, or to Billings or not. Minnesota's hard to get out of too. So let's see here. There's quite a bit of stuff going to Minneapolis. Maybe we could talk them into just going into Minneapolis instead. There's quite a few on
we can pick up tomorrow?
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Minnesota.
Right? This gets into, Vlad, are you able to talk to the boss? I mean, I'm going to guess, Liz, I'm going to go with no, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so, but if you were able, maybe stop in Minneapolis, but then I'm sure there was no point. They probably have a pickup, right? They have a pickup to make in Montana. So he's trying to get them to Montana.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what it is. Or you show him what's in Montana, and then he goes, oh, I don't want to go to Montana anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, there you go. Hey, that's how we're helping. So we're giving Vlad information to go back to the boss and say, well, here's what you can say. Here's the money we're going to make, or rather lose, going to Montana. So if you can make up that loss and still make a profit by picking up in Montana, go for it. Oh, and by the way, there's ice and snow everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm going to put just Montana to all, and I guarantee you we're going to talk about it being like 67 loads. If
We're
it does that, I'm
probably.
gonna be surprised.
I'm gonna bet. I'm just gonna bet
Hold on.
one chip that when you search Montana to all, we're gonna see the load that the boss is trying to get.
I am trying to find you.
Oh, great.
If I had
Boy, what I would do for a trickle of water right now. You know, we've got some stories too.
How am I even still on the internet with you? 'Cause
While
it's not
While we're waiting for the internet, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna take the screen
There you
back. Oh, you got it?
that bit's coming up.
Okay,
now.
you got it. All right, cool. Because I could do a news story.
Oh,
Okay.
139 loads.
139.
Oh, well,
That's Montana to everything. That's Montana to Alaska.
Right.
That's
Here's 2 jet skis. Billings going
2
to
jet
Los
skis.
Angeles.
The boss really wants to get those jet skis.
That may be what it is. Who knows?
Oh my gosh, the
I
boss.
just put up to all because I don't know what's going to come up. There's a lot of stuff. RCG just listed a plethora of loads on here. All going to Idaho. And they look like they're all spread out. Missoula.
Yeah, you see a lot of Pocatello. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What's in Pocatello?
That's one of their accounts. I don't know. I've delivered to them for them before from a guy that works out of Washington.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if it's a dealership over there, but usually these in-ops are at Copart or something like that.
Right,
I want to say
Missoula.
that.
Missoula to Pocatello, man. You could make a regular. If you lived in Pocatello or Montana, you could make a route, dude.
Yeah,
Well,
but
that's
this is,
it.
I don't think this is regular.
We're gonna pack it up, honey. We're moving to Pocatello.
Let's see. What else is on here? There's a Billings, California. Apparently there's a bunch of stuff on here from Billings, California. If that's what his end game is. They look like
I don't think so, because that's the thing. Here, so I'm gonna back up the truck here for a second. I think that we should, because he's picking up in New York. Let's get rid of the West Coast. Let's do Montana to the east, right?
Yeah. Well,
Because this California stuff, I feel like we are.
stuff going on.
Ooh, Vlad says he is able to talk with them, but these days I'm just doing everything that he says. Yeah, that's good. Good for you, man. Good job. The issue is that we are something in New York.
New York.
For some reason, he likes to go to Montana, Washington. Yeah, because nobody else does. What I mean is, that is a really, like, to make a regular route out of New York to Montana, you'd have to have a customer, because I do not know of any load board that springs forth regular fruit. Oh, what is he? I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. No, that's about the truth right there. Yeah. Let's see. Well, so here's some Montana stuff going back to the east, which would be Chicago, which this is a Royal Mansion. What the hell is that?
Spartan Royal Mansion? It's a classic car. I'm gonna go with classic car. I'm gonna go with like a Rolls Royce Ghost or something awesome.
That's what I thought it was. It's an RV.
Oh,
It's an
it's
RV.
way off. Oh, it's an RV.
That's what I thought it was too.
Yeah,
Like
I should have.
Old RV.
I should have known when it said mansion. And now that is a mansion. I'll tell you what, if there ever was a mansion,
That's actually kind of cool.
it is pretty. Actually, that is pretty cool.
If it
But
looks like this.
But I don't want
Probably
to. I wouldn't
looks
want to
like
haul it. What's it paying?
this. No, it's only paying.
Is it a red load?
Well, hold on. Let me find it here. It's $1.27 a mile. So in
is
that perspective, yeah, that is a red.
That's a red load.
Yes, nobody's going to take
$1.27
that
a mile for a silver mansion.
Yes,
Come
and
on.
you're going to have to
That's
mean,
ridiculous.
that should probably be paying more in the $3 mile range, don't you think? Something like that.
What's the condition? Does it still have the catalytic converter? I'm kidding.
Anyways, all right. Well, there's some more stuff
Right now,
coming back
I guarantee we
from-
just lost another
yeah.
viewer. That was it. He's like, that's it. This guy knows nothing.
And there's some stuff going back to Massachusetts. I don't really see. I haven't gotten to the ends yet to get to New York. There's stuff going into Maryland. More stuff going back to St. Louis, so you could hop from St. Louis back to New Jersey and New York. There's quite a few going to St. Louis, honestly. This is double broker because it's the same. This is Roadrunner and AM3 are the same broker.
Do they have a thing going? Do you think they have lunch
Yeah.
and like stare at each other?
Yeah. Yeah, they go, okay, I'm going to
Oh,
list it in
excuse me.
Hamilton. You're going
I
to
get
list
such
it
a kick
in
out of
Louisville.
that
We're going to
stuff.
see who calls us for
Oh
Yeah.
man.
it.
I can't.
Uh,
It's kind of like there must be like some kind of like animated villain picture where you have like these brokers that are head to head like the two cousins. Well, we know of some. Like, isn't there a guy? One guy's a sailor, one guy's a dealer. They're brokers. They're brothers, and they hate each other. Somebody call Hollywood. I think there's a movie in
yeah,
there.
didn't you?
Yeah. Broker, brother, sailor.
So there's some stuff. There's a big man going back to Manville, but I don't think
Okay,
that
I have to
I
go
don't know if he
next,
could
Adam.
actually even carry that for
Hmm.
1,600.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
so
to for five.
there you go. Yeah, you're right. That's a
Great.
load you can actually get back with. Although it's Billings. Where in Montana is he
If this
going?
would fit a trailer, I don't know.
Let's go back.
Billings.
It
Let's
is
see.
Billings. You're right.
Great.
It is Billings.
Let's start that. Yeah, I want to see where Great Falls is.
But is there more
Helena,
Is
that's
there
the
more
loads.
from Billings back? Is the back haul better than the front haul? Right.
I don't think either haul is good.
You
But
know.
I don't know what you're-
Oh,
I'm trying to help him out here.
Yeah, no. Vlad, we are working hard to make some lemonade here, buddy. And it's funny, he
Okay,
says, I
so-
find this ridiculous, but that's what, he's doing a good job. And this
Yeah,
is what
almost.
dispatching's all about. You're trying to do the best you can with what you've got.
Mhm.
That's why anybody that says this is an illegal job, what are you talking about? I don't hear that as much now.
No.
I should probably let it go. I'm sure somebody's thinking, Jay, let it go.
Well, we still hear it. You know how that
Do
is.
you? Do you still hear it? You still
Man,
hear
I'm
it?
sorry.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Like people will call and part of it's probably because of the show, but people will call and say, "What's this about it? You guys being illegal? What does that mean?" So I have to explain it to them that technically, no, we're not illegal. But
Hey,
they
but
don't
that's
even
pretty
really have
good
a-
awareness. I like that.
yeah,
Um,
they don't really have a category for us or anything like that, so they can't even really technically make us illegal until they categorize what a dispatcher technically is, truthfully. So, there's a Missoula. Why do I have a feeling that none of this stuff is near Billings? 'Cause
at this.
the problem is Montana is so huge.
Yes, it is.
It's
Beautiful.
hard to see. There we go. It's even further. Oh man, your job is hard, Vlad. That's all I can tell you.
it's
These are
frozen
going to
again.
be all spread out. There's
It's-
stuff out of Montana going back to. They're spread out,
Not only is the
Yeah.
water frozen, but the
and they
YouTube
don't pay well.
YouTube is
Were you-
frozen. YouTube is frozen.
What is it?
Yeah, the live chat's frozen again.
It's frozen?
Yeah, it's frozen. I don't know what's going on there. Somebody's working on the pipes. Everywhere. Yeah, I know, Vlad. And I want to say hello to John. That's the whole point. John, hello, friends. We're snowed in again, says John at Finest Towing and Recovery up in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Load boards have a special
I
on
heard
broken
about that.
windshields this week. That's pretty funny.
Yes. There's only a couple of us in the office.
So what's your prognosis on this
Unfortunately, there's not a
Montana
whole
thing?
lot going.
Yeah. What do we have a prognosis?
Oh,
Oh,
it's
I
not
need
too
the
good.
I need a
And
stethoscope.
here's the other problem about picking stuff up in Montana. It's always going to be big stuff. You know what I mean? It's going to be big trucks because that's what they drive there because of the weather. So I don't think for you to be in a 9-car, what you're going to come back with is going to be rough because you're going to have to take all bigger things just to get out of there.
What can I do for you today?
There's not even stuff going back to Minnesota where you could, drop and pick or anything. I think the only way I would do coming back is it looks like there's some stuff going to St. Louis and Chicago. You might have to do a jump. There's no way you're coming straight back. And as far as going there, the only stuff I found on there that was good packs was going to Minnesota. I doubt you'll find stuff going from Minnesota to Montana. Here's one that's going all the way to Missoula. Here's another one, but that's in Staten Island going all the way to Missoula.
We'll do, Mr. Powell. Have a good day.
Service has one in New York going into Bismarck, North Dakota, which
I just want to point out part of the reason I made this show is I wanted people to see what's it really like in a dispatch office. And you're seeing it, you're hearing it, right? You can hear Jen on the phone negotiating, right? You are seeing the load boards. There's people in the live chat looking at routes, looking at the weather. This is it. I must say, I'm gonna go ahead and honk the horn. I'm really excited. I did it. I captured dispatching live. That's why it's called dispatch. I captured dispatching live, and it's live right now. It is February 18th. It's 12:30-ish, approximately Central Time. I captured it. I found it. I put it in a bottle, streamed it live on YouTube, and I'm excited about it. So thank you for joining us on Dispatching Live, seeing it, being a part of it. It really is. It's neat. It's pretty neat. And my thoughts go out to you. If you're having power problems right now, water problems, engine trouble, or if somebody or yourself you've been injured in an accident or otherwise, really I hope that everything works out fine. Things get better progressively. We're in a crazy time overall nationally right now, but we're here to help in any way we can. So that's why Sue is working hard to see if she can put a route together from New York to Montana and back. So Sue, what's the prognosis?
Well, I can't find a full load. I mean, I can't even find enough to take you to Montana. There are plenty of loads going along that route. Like this is a good paying load right here. It's going, you go through the bottom side going through Nebraska, and there's more on here, as you can see, that are paying really well going into Nebraska. Like this one's $1,000 just for one vehicle. These are Newburgh, which I like Newburgh. You don't have to go over over the George Washington Bridge and pay the $150 in tolls. Newburgh is Manheim, so that's really not a bad run right there. Lincoln, Nebraska is just a little bit west of Omaha, so it's not really that far off the beaten path. There's another one. I'm not sure where Rockville Center is. I want to say that's north too, but don't quote me on that. I don't know all of New York that well. There's also some stuff going into South Dakota that's along the route, but they're bigger things right there. I don't see a full load though. I mean, here, this is Missoula stuff. So Missoula, I said, was what, 150 miles past Billings? No, I think it's even worse. We were looking at Bozeman. Missoula is right here, which is way past Billings by, I would say, at least, to me, that looks like 200 miles at least. Let's look. Oh, wrong. 350 miles past. So you probably don't want to do that. I mean, there were loads coming out of Missoula, though. They're coming back, you would have to chop it up. There's not enough on there to do it. I don't know if this is what this guy is doing on a regular basis with you. If you've been able to keep your guy moving back and forth between there, if he's just deciding to do this. If he was just deciding to do this, you might want to show him the board, show him, what's on here, what you're working with. Yeah, I would think you'd be better off to either run him to Minnesota or Nebraska. Don't do South Dakota or North Dakota. It'd be the same situation you're going to be dealing with going to Montana. Maybe offer him some options, just because. Or run, to me, it would make more sense to run to like California if you're wanting to do long runs, just because at least there's loads there going there and back. Montana's gonna be rough for you. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, and
I don't
here's
really have a problem.
but no, it's a good analysis. I mean, I'm envisioning Vlad, you know, prints a lot of stuff out, maybe a lot of printouts, put it in a manila file, put a label on it, bring it to the boss, and you know, and let him take a look at it. But it sounds like the boss has done this route before, which makes it even harder. If you've never done the route and you give the prognosis, then maybe you can move on. But if you've done it before, and if any of those weeks you got a gold bar, oh, look out. Right?
Yeah,
Because there's nothing
yeah,
like trying to, you know, repeat the half court buzzer shot. You know, everybody wants the half court buzzer again. The buzzer beater. The buzzer beater. We're still stuck.
Like I said, we're doing stuff that's taking him through places that he would transfer to. But if I just put in New York to Montana, I'm going to show you what comes up. It ain't going to be pretty. Maybe this is what you need to show him instead. Just say, this is all that's on the board. And I know you go through parts of New Jersey. I didn't put up New Jersey.
I heard a like a Groucho Marx in there. This is all it's all on the board. That was awesome.
So there's only 5 loads out of New York
Groucho Marx
going to Montana. So there's not a lot to work with here. And if you're a 9-car, you know, you don't want to pick up in 9 places and drop in 9 places, especially in New York and Montana. I mean, New York, we know why. Montana is going to be guaranteed weather, small roads, you know, that kind of thing, because they don't get a lot of that. You know, a lot of those people probably don't leave their houses during the wintertime very often just because of the weather.
All right.
So,
time out.
Yeah.
We're getting way off track. So what we're going to do is...
It's true. My family in Minnesota do the same thing, so I get it.
Oh, it's so funny, man. What we're going to do is we're going to put the cap on this bottle, and we're going to say, talk to your boss, try not to do this, especially right now. Listen, if the sun was shining, I would still say I'm not sure. But the sun is far from shining, and everybody knows it. So I would do something else. John says between gas tolls and weather, New Jersey is a loss. That sucks, man. That sucks. Yeah, right now. Did you? And there was a headline.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I think New York and New Jersey was a loss. Yeah.
Did you see? I'm going to take control of the screen here for a second, because I'm going to share it. Like, you know, even Reindeer put out an email. Hello from the Carrier Reindeer Network. We want to remind you of Reindeer's expectations, you know, and the weather and the pandemic and all the stuff. There was even I don't know where I saw the headline. You could take the... Actually, you know what? While I'm sharing the screen, let's go and switch directions. This is kind of cool. But you can't see it. Well, it might have made... There you go. Can you see... You can't see that. Where are we at, Jay? This is kind of cool. Listen, this is an example of how this show, you know, what the show is all about. If you're just tuning in. Nays sent me an Instagram. My friend, he's running a 3-car hauler, wants me to be his dispatcher. I'm trying to find out more about it. I can't find video of how to book a load on Central Dispatch. Can you make some, like from A to Z, algorithm, paperwork, how to book a load? Or maybe you haven't and I missed it. So I sent him the dispatcher training series, said tune in on Thursdays on Dispatching Live. At least once a week, I get either a comment or an email or a message looking for help on booking loads on Central Dispatch. And that's what this show is all about. So Sue, go ahead and take the screen back, pull up Central Dispatch, and let's do... What was the Midlothian, Texas? What was that question?
Did he tell us where it was going? Yeah, let me go. I just know it's about the Tahoes. Hold on, let me go back here and read.
It was...
What was that? I know he said Midlothian, Texas, but to where?
I wish I could share the live chat. Ron Sestek, I've done that, picking up single units on my 9-car. Too much time invested, not enough profit on the other end. Yeah. Yeah, right. One at a time on a 9 car. Oh.
Yeah,
And I, as a
yeah,
dispatcher, I
and
booked
they do
that,
that.
and I got the feedback. It was a driving team. They were great, but they said, "Listen, Jay, don't do that again, please. We love you, but don't do that again."
Well, we okay, so we have a new old driver, shall we say. I had a driver that came back to us, and now he has a 7 car, and they've been hauling, and Julissa's their dispatcher.
Uh
But
huh.
they've been hauling, like picking up in 7 places, dropping in 7 places. And when I talked to the owner, I said, "Look, I said I don't know how it's going or what, if your driver's happy, but I will say that if you would like me to, I will send you my 3 car versus the 6, 7, 10 car thing." About how much it costs you at as far as fuel and time going and doing all that when a 3 car can turn and burn, and if you took packs of loads instead of doing that you would make more money, because you're not spending the fuel to. I don't know if sometimes they think because they see the figures of the amounts, not the fact of how long it's taking that driver to do all of this stuff and how much gas are you burning going to 9, 10 places instead of going to 2 places, dropping in 2 places. You may get only, 35 to 40 cents a mile, but you're not spending the amount of money. I know they're burning more money in fuel and time just by getting 50 cents a car, you know what I mean, and going 9 places.
I have no
You and I both
idea.
know it
Oh
doesn't,
my
the figures.
gosh. Okay, I just had a crazy idea. You want to really help carriers? This isn't going to happen, but when you post a load, if there was an
Mhm.
automatic calculator of minimum expense to the trailer,
Oh, yeah,
oh my gosh,
yeah,
that would be insane. In
yeah.
fact, you know what
And
would
it
be
really,
interesting is if you were a software startup, because like sometimes you can make a software that lays on top of a software. Software guys know what I'm talking about. That would calculate like you call the it'd be an automatic carrier expense app. And so every time you look
yeah,
at a load, it automatically calculates your minimum cost just to do this run. Of course, there'd be all kinds of parameters and craziness,
yeah.
but that would and so that would make that $1.27 per mile silver mansion after
Yeah,
calculating
right. Yeah,
expenses, you are losing money to pick up a mansion.
yes.
Are you sure you want to book it?
Okay.
All right, so
So,
Midlothian. What are we doing? Midlothian.
yeah, I was looking at this. Ron never really said where he's at, but he's out of Tecumseh, Oklahoma, so maybe he's going back and forth between
I can pick up
the
some
Dallas
apples.
area
I could see
and
that.
Oklahoma. He's a
Yeah.
9 car thing, he said.
Oh, that's Ron, and that's
So let's
Ron.
just
Okay.
do,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna do
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
we're
Yeah.
just gonna put it in Oklahoma.
Putting it together. I
That's
like
what I'm
it.
gonna assume.
Yeah, I like it. hmm
Um,
Midlothian again is
but I'm gonna
where's
put a minimum.
Midlothian? I always go to the map, but
Dallas.
I'll go check.
Yeah, it's Dallas Fort Worth.
Is it Dallas? Okay.
I've picked up. Yeah, it's Dallas Fort Worth
Okay.
area.
Good.
All right, so I'm gonna put a minimum of at 3 if he's a 9 car because he isn't gonna want. I'm sure he's not doing all the stopping and dropping stuff.
Stop dropping.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. So
Hey, what's up,
like,
Carlos?
I don't know what he's getting, but here's like a 6 pack. That I think is a little too cheap.
Still frozen.
Going to Oklahoma City for McKinney. There's 2 6 packs, and it says, oh, they're UTV.
Oh wow.
Huh.
Okay, let's look at
So
that for
they're-
a second. What do you think of that load? Because
Well, I take them. Well, it's cheap, but here's the only thing you have to
it's
ask
cheap and
yourself,
it's a
can
lot
you
of
fit
work. It's
both
more
of
work
them?
than it sounds like. I don't
Yeah,
like
because the
UTVs.
golf ball, if they're what I think they are, they've got those high roofs on them, so you can't take. Yeah, see, they always have these things on the top of them. They may be small, but we've taken them on our 3 4 car before, and we could fit 4 on the top easy. But if I had to put something like if it was a stackable, they won't fit in the bottom because that top is too tall. So the only time we were able to take 4 was like on the the wedge that was 53 foot long
I can
wedge
pick up tomorrow and like
because the height wasn't an issue. So I bet there is an issue with that, honestly.
I'll do that right now. Thank you.
I don't, that'd be a question you'd have to call them and ask them, what's the height? But I think that's too cheap. I think they should be paying more than that. I know they're small, but even if you're, okay, so if he's a 9 car, and say you fit 2 to each one, which I doubt you would, you're going to be messing with that for a long time, loading all those for a little bit of money.
That's what I at this point,
I wouldn't do it for that.
Yeah, when I see ATV, UTV, anything like golf cart, I just next. I don't even look at it.
Look at this. This is too cheap too. Look, we got a 2500, a Hummer
Oh
H2,
my gosh.
F350, another 1500, another F250, and a 1500.
And
can you even fit that on a 9 car?
Well, no. And I don't think so. I really don't think so. Even if you could, if you were good enough to fit it, that's not enough money for your expertise. And I don't know why it's such a thing to like post like 20 trucks in one 20 it should reference ID 20 cheap trucks. Like why?
Right.
I don't get
it. This you could do this. This is a 6 cars in an SUV, $1,000. Dallas, that's Manheim. That's the zip code for Manheim. That's really not a bad run right there. It's only 200 miles, 67 cents a mile. You can still fit 2 more. Which I don't have it filtered for 2 more, but when you go back, I guarantee you we find 2 more to go on that. Let's see. And really, as far as money goes, this is a 7-pack for $1,000. This is a 7-pack for only $875, and it has 6 pickups. These people crazy or what?
Dude, and John, you and John literally in synchronicity. You said that, and John posted, who's posting these jobs? Stevie Wonder?
That's
awesome.
Crazy. Well, let's see. Ship Your Car now has
Stevie Wonder Logistics. That's hilarious. Oh.
Let's see. There's 2 pickups.
Rob's got. I don't want one cheap truck, let alone 20.
Yeah, I agree.
And what's the and what are the payment terms? You know what the payment terms are? Wait for it. Net never.
What? Oh, yeah, there you go. I would do, this would be my pack I would take, and I would grab 2 more. That Dallas to Oklahoma City. And we're all assuming this is what he's doing. So
yeah. I agree with you. That is actually, we got a good load. That is actually a good load.
Yeah, and you could find another 2 probably right there at Manheim, so you don't have to go anyplace else.
That is great. M&M Freight Logistics, you got that one? Who's that? That's for Ron, isn't it? I like it. I'd call it right now, assuming we're right about everything else.
Yeah, and then here's another 7-pack you can book for the next day.
Oh my God, exactly, dude. Now wait, let's look at the load. Are we good? We got 250
this one, it's got an F250 and a 1500 in it, so this one's a little iffy. I mean, this one for sure we know.
But you got sedans in there, Camry, right? Yeah. Pro tip for the dispatchers. Once you see something you like, before you book it, make sure it'll fit. Make sure.
Yes.
And if you don't know, call your driver. Call that driver.
Yeah, and I've also had them, you really want to make sure when you call them that these are really the loads, the cars they have.
Amen.
I've had them come over and they're different, and this isn't going to fit, and you got to go through that whole
verify.
And I mean, the rest of these packs aren't bad, but I mean, if you can do a 7-pack, do a 7-pack any day of the week. Quicker, faster, make more money.
Well, yeah, no, 7-packs are actually good.
Yeah.
Because it leaves you room for error.
What I'm saying is some of these are paying a little bit more, but they're only 3 packs. To me, it doesn't. Sometimes that 10 cents a mile does not make a difference if you have to drive around everywhere. You're going to lose that driving to the next spot. Take the 7-pack and then find 2 more. And like I said, I guarantee there's a 2-pack out of the same Manheim, probably going to Oklahoma City that you can probably put with it. It never fails. That's a regular run. So that's probably why he does that back and forth.
BM says it sounds like it's too cheap. Still stuck, and then we're still frozen in the live chat. It's all right.
Sounds like what comes out of
South Florida.
Sad.
But I don't know which loads. But we see. Here's the problem. We see so many cheap loads. If you were to think cheap loads versus good paying loads, it's like 80-20.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. True.
Oh,
That's
Ron's
talking
about his Tahoes again. I can do 6 Tahoes and make height going to Sacramento. I'll check on them and can haul anything. We're car haulers. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. A car hauler, right? Not a bump and docker or whatever. A car hauler, yeah, can fit things. You know what's neat? I've talked with like fleet managers, and they're like, yeah, good car hauler. The way they load a trailer will blow your mind.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. Have you ever watched some of those videos of people in other countries and how they unload and reload vehicles like in just minutes? It's the craziest crap ever.
Have you seen the video of the guy?
Them on and on.
There's a guy driving an SUV on 2 sticks, not sticks of wood, but they got 2 tree trunks over like a gully, and he's backing an SUV. Wow, man. You should come work in the States, man. Holy cow. Well, that's and you know, Rob, that's one of the reasons. I mean, anybody posting cheap loads doesn't watch this show. All right, so fair enough. But we got to talk. We got to talk about it anyways. Well, you and I have talked about that, Sue. Like, right? If you're yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
This is Jennifer with Mark.
Oh, let's hear Jen. She's on the phone.
He just last week he paid $80 in storage, and he has never been reimbursed for that.
That's a reimbursement for storage.
Couldn't
One of the
he have
drivers
that
paid
happen since you were requesting?
Which that happens too, by the way.
Don't
Watch
you
that.
hate
I
that?
usually make them pay. I'm
Right.
like, I expect payment when they're in cash. Thank you very much.
Well,
Some of my drivers used to charge a fee for even doing it, and I don't blame them. So they got to use their credit card or they got to go to an ATM before they get there, which is not the most easiest thing to do. Whether you're in a 3500 or whether you're in a big rig, you can't just pull into the drive-through and get some cash out.
exactly.
So
No.
Well,
in some auctions, some of those salvage auctions seem to make it difficult for the buyer to pay the storage. I've actually heard, I've called a buyer, hey, can you pay that storage before the carrier gets there? And he's like, well, I got to drive 100 miles to the Western Union, or I'm like, really? And they're like, yeah. I got to, it's cash only, and I got to get down there before they close. Like, wow, that's insane, dude.
See, I don't know if that's true for everyone. I think it depends on what type of account they have, because I have customers that all they have to do is go online, push a button, and it's done.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the people that say, yes, okay, I won't have it paid for 2 hours because I have to drive, however far away to go pay it. And then every 2 hours, it's always 3 or 4. But anyways, so I think it depends on what kind of account they have set up, probably what kind of credit they have. So it's all based on that, I believe, is what's going on with some of those people.
Ty just posted BS. Well, here's the thing. As a dispatcher, if I call to verify a load and someone tells me they got to drive 100 miles to a Western Union before they close, I'm thinking we don't take that load. Like,
well, they never say
what else is
when
there?
They're
Right, there's more.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's always like, I'm waiting in line. I've been in line for an hour, and there's 10 people in front of me. And now I will believe that, because if you've been to IA and Copart, the drivers wait that long too, and the same person that's coming in to pay has to wait in the same line that the driver has to wait in. So if they're backed up, they're standing there that long. But yes, why can't you push a button and just pay them? I get it. And then do you know sometimes they won't even let the driver pay with a credit card at certain Coparts and IAs for the storage. They have to come in with cash. Oh, and here's the best one. If you come in with cash and you don't have the right amount, they don't give you change. So your storage is $40. You come in with a $100 bill. Guess what? They're keeping the whole $100 bill. And they apply it to the guy's account. Just
This
so everybody knows.
is right. So here we have a spectrum of possibilities, meaning like, okay, maybe there are some folks that are like, yeah, this is real. It's our policy. We don't make change. But it's kind of, some of it's kind of like when you're at the parking garage and you know they are ripping you off just to release you from this garage.
Right.
There's no reason it's $20 a day in this garage in the middle of nowhere and you don't have any change. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
You're in there counting gold bars, but you can't change 100.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get that either.
Hi, welcome to Gold Bar Vehicle Storage. We don't make change. Oh man, does anybody have another route search? And while do us a favor, we got 30 more minutes. This show goes really fast, at least for me. We got 30 more minutes. Please put in the live chat if you've got a route scout. Let us know your trailer capacity. And Sue, you've got a. So do you have a Connecticut story? What's going on? Was it? Let's see here. I know she's working. I'll tell you what. I'm going to go to the. Before you do that, it's time for Mug O Problems. I need like a theme song and a header. Maybe maybe in the future. All right. Here we go. Mug O Problem. Mug O Problems is random problems in dispatch. And these are all real things.
Okay.
Because all right. Oh, so much talking and so little doing. Wow. That sums it up for this show. So much talking and so little doing. What I'm talking about is... what I'm talking about is, ironically, you do all this searching and calling, and you can waste a whole day. You didn't make anything. Nothing worked out. The ATVs you couldn't get. The storage wasn't paid. He's got to drive to the Western Union. Like all this, and nothing happened. Nobody made any money. So much talking and so little doing.
Julissa, I'm going to tell him your story here. Julissa worked all day Saturday, all day Monday, loading up this truck out of Atlanta, Georgia. Then they tell her on Monday that the truck is in the shop. Then they tell her yesterday, just cancel all the loads that you've been putting off. So she made nothing for all those days of working that when the truck was in the shop and never got fixed. So there's another example of there's a lot of talking and nothing doing right there. And no money in your hand afterwards.
Perfect example. I mean, because that's right. How often does the driver say, yeah, you know what, just cancel everything? Oh my God. Yeah. No.
Yeah, like that's...
Or, I just found out, I got a violin concert to go to tomorrow. I can't do it. Can you push it off a day? Cancel it all? Or how about this? They go and pick everything up and then the truck breaks down. Really, man?
Yes. I've had that happen a lot.
And I mean, it's nobody's fault, but this is the life. This is it. This is what it's like to live the dream.
Question to ask everybody. So, say you work all this, the dispatcher does all this work, gets you loaded, and then you cancel, not because of a breakdown, like you said, let's say you got a concert to go to. Should the dispatcher charge you for their time on these loads because they did all the work? There's a question.
I know the answer. Here's what I say to drivers. And this really stinks. But what I've said is, because they say, well, what do you charge? And this is how I say it. As a dispatcher, I charge you a percentage of every load that I book and gets successfully delivered. Therefore, if I
Okay,
spend a
so
day making phone calls and everything and you cancel everything, nada.
okay, which I don't. However, I
Right?
do
Well,
have
I
some drivers
understand. I mean, you got to
that
stay in business.
right,
It is a
but
service, you know?
right, it is a
It's a
service.
service.
But I have had a driver that used to work for me, and he would just cancel for random reasons, like, "Hey, my wife wants me home," something like that. And he'd say, "Charge me. You did the work. Charge me." So if they say that to me, I'm going to charge them. But you're right. I usually don't either, and it's just part of the business, unfortunately.
Wow. Thank you. You know, and my live chat is still frozen here. I'm gonna try to unfreeze it one more
Okay,
time.
well,
Bear with me.
Fitness Trucking wants us to look from Pittsburgh to Texas.
Cool.
Let's do that.
Let's do it. Pittsburgh to Texas. Nah, we're
Are
still
we talking? I'm gonna.
still
We're
frozen.
talking. You want to go? I'm going to suggest Dallas, Austin, or San Antonio. Don't do Houston. So let's look up Pittsburgh. I'm just going to put in Texas for now, and we'll go through here and see what's on. And I think he has FNS. Doesn't he have like a 4-car Kaufman or something like that? It's 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. I think that's what it is. Let's look. So we got 65
And I do
loads.
have,
Yeah, that's going to bring up places. Oh, look at this. That's not bad. Give me the van has a 2-pack. It's not spectacular. It's 58 cents a mile, but that ain't bad. Let's see what else we got here. So it's gonna, just so everybody knows, Pittsburgh's gonna bring up the Cleveland area too, which you could do if they're paying appropriately. Got a Columbiana. Oh, don't do that. Got a John Deere tractor.
Hey, there's another
Probably won't
one.
go on
Check that out, right? Speaking of New York to Montana, Bold Logistics just put it in there. Can we charge extra for digging cars out of the snow?
I wish.
Yeah, no kidding, man. And what would you charge?
Well, and
$50
also,
a car?
can you charge extra when you show up and you tell them you're coming and they didn't dig the car out of the snow and then they tell you can't take it even?
Oh,
I keep having
man.
that happen with up in New Jersey.
Man, this is such a tough business. It's crazy. It really is crazy.
There's a bunch of stuff going in Houston, man, but they're cheap and I wouldn't do Houston. It's just way too hard to get out of there. Oh, look, M&M Freight has a 3-pack on here. They were the ones that had the ones going up to Oklahoma. New Philadelphia, I believe, is Copart or IA.
Terry Brown is next. Terry Brown has a 3-car Albuquerque to anywhere. You're next, Terry. Thank you. John, I think John likes the $50 a car. I mean, it seems reasonable. Dealers
Yeah, I don't
are
think that's
digging cars
unreasonable.
out and cracking windshields and blaming carriers. Wow. Holy cow.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I wonder if they would split this up for you. It's a 2-pick, 1 drop. They might. This is a 5-pack.
Ooh, Pittsburgh, Dallas
There's one right
5-pack.
here for,
I like that.
yeah.
And in the
That's
notes,
like,
2 pick, 1 drop.
yeah.
That's
So
thank
they
you.
might split it up.
And thank you for letting us know. Thank you. We just want to know. Yeah.
Yeah, I would rather know. I called someone the other day for a load and it really ticked me off because it said it was 1 pick, 1 drop. When
I
I
am getting him too going down into New
Yes.
Orleans.
telling me about the load and I said, okay, I can do this load. And he's like, okay, so you're gonna have 3 drops. I'm like, wait a second, that's nowhere on there does it say that. And the 3 drops are spread out like 100 miles apart. They're not even next to each other. I've got some crazy.
Oh,
crap.
that's no. You can't spread out 2 picks 100
No.
miles or what? No, you can't do that.
Pick.
That's
It's
not.
3 picks, yeah.
And I tell you
You
what,
go-
and I've
okay.
seen some of those loads out there. Yellow card to be nice. I've seen some of yeah, they're like, okay, well there's 4
So
picks and 5 drops. Okay, that's not a cluster load. Stop.
no.
Stop
Hey,
already.
FNS, this, I don't know if you could take this. I don't know what kind of trailer you have. I know my 4 car
How
coffin could
many
take
hours do
these
you
two
have
plus
left to
one
drive?
car. And this is, if you look at it, it's paying $1.13 a mile, for 2 trucks going down to Dallas. That's good money. And even if you picked up a third vehicle, a small vehicle, that'd still be really good money for a 4 car. So that's an option.
Can I book you out of there for Saturday, or do
And
you guys need
then
to go down?
looks like First Class Motors has
You're
this one for
36.
$900. What is that? Oh, I hate it when the stupid thing doesn't work. Hold on.
Right.
Can we talk to Central? Can we tell them other things other than ratings?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do that. Let's take a moment. Is there? Yeah. Let's make and we're keeping it professional. I think this has been a great show, even though we've been all over the place. We're giving realistic feedback. We're talking about all the parameters. So let's do that. What do we want to make sure? We give them as feedback. What do you want to give them?
Definitely, the whole thing with the ratings, I agree, because like I've explained to them before, that if a company pays 30 days out, you're not going to be able to give them a negative when they don't pay you in time. That's number one of my problems. Number two would be the issue with the ratings. If, for example, you put on there, they're supposed to pick up this is the broker side of me, okay? So if you put on there, pick up exactly, because there's storage. That's why you're doing this. And they don't pick up, and then they cancel because they don't want to pay the storage, and you give them a negative, then sometimes Central takes it off, and sometimes they leave it on. What I don't understand is they'll say, you haven't given me enough proof. Well, when I give you proof of my contract and what it states, that should be proof enough. Now, in the respect of people giving us negatives, like we had an issue with the driver up in St. Louis. As we all know, we've been getting hit with storm after storm after storm. And he couldn't get his truck started, and the roads were horrible. The guy said, I'm going to give you a negative. And I told Julissa, I said, put on there while we're canceling. We've had snowstorm and ice storm day after day. We cannot do this load. If they give us a negative, I'm going to go to Central Dispatch. I'm going to show them a picture of the weather, which they should be aware of it. And there's no reason that this guy should get a negative. I mean, we can't drive when it's that bad. He couldn't even get his truck started because it was negative 14 or something like that. So, that should be on there. We should also, what are the things that we could discuss with them if they'll hear us?
I'll tell you what, and by the way, in the live chat, if you've got something that you'd like to share about ratings and feedback, please put it in the live chat. We want to know. Do you think that maybe the department that handles negative ratings, they need to staff up? Like, is there a problem? Right?
Because
what would help?
I think they got maybe one person.
Okay, and that's what I was wondering. What do you think? Yeah, what do you think as a company, other than some of the minutia of what's a negative and what's not and who's full of it? What do you think would help the company just manage the process better? Do you think they need more people? Do they need better visibility? I mean, what on that? What would help the company?
Well, I know nowadays, okay, so I've really waited 2 to 3 months for them to decide on whether a negative was rated or not. And it will say now they're not as backed up as they were, but I've literally gotten an email saying, we are really backed up. We might not be able to look at this for a month or something like that. And I've seen it literally take 2 to 3 months before they finally send it through. When you do get a negative rating, or you give somebody a negative rating, it's only supposed to take 8 days. You have 8 days to negotiate with that person on the other end as to whether that's valid or not valid, or kiss and make up or whatever, right? And they're not doing that. So even when you dispute it after 8 days, sometimes, like I said, it's taking a month or two for them to decide whether it's valid or invalid. And I think it's a issue with people. I don't think they have a large staff. Maybe we should ask them how big their staff is.
We should. And here's the thing: is this is actually, I'm gonna approach this delicately, but with the volume on the load board, 48,000 plus loads, right?
Right.
48,000 plus loads, and then what? 13,000 plus carriers. God knows how many brokers. That is a lot to manage. So if there are not a lot of people trying to manage all this, and then I'm going to multiply it by the amount that everybody pays a month, I don't get it. How are you bringing in
either.
Right? And I know this is tough.
Yes.
I know this is shareholders are jumping out of the windows right now. But how do you pull in $1 million a month but you have a small staff? That makes no sense to me. And I apologize in advance.
I agree.
Okay.
So back to F&S. Yes, there's plenty of loads going to Dallas here, by the way. There's definitely a way you can make a load going down there. Like I said, I wouldn't do Houston, but you can get down there with no problem. And they're paying well, actually. I mean, Pittsburg usually pays pretty good. If they're not paying 60, 70 cents a mile, don't do them, because another load will pop up that's paying that.
Yeah, we got 20 minutes left. We're doing good. We're still searching Pittsburg, Texas. And then Terry, we're going to be with you here in a few. And anybody else, if you've got a route scout, we still probably have time for another route scout. I think we went. Yeah. Did we get through all the stories and topics for today? I think we did.
No, we didn't talk about my Connecticut story.
Oh, what's the Connecticut story?
Okay, so I brokered a car out of Connecticut, and the driver called the night before, asked them to pull the car out, never showed up. Okay, they don't leave them out. He just pulled it out because they have a sublot. And we all know they get weather up there. So when the guy didn't show up, he moved it back to the sublot. So he shows up the next morning, he calls us up screaming at us saying they don't have the car ready. And I called them and blah, 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 blah. And like Jen says, we can't make the car dealership do what you want. And just so we all know, he never once called this guy to tell him he was there in all this time. Anyways, and so Jen says, well, hold on, I'll call him. And in the meantime, he's threatening us to call the broker bond company on them. Okay, well, first off, don't piss off the broker. That's your number one thing. Don't do. Because secondly, like we told him, she goes, there's nothing you can do. You haven't picked up the car. The broker bond company is not going to help you get a dry run fee off of me because you didn't call. You know what I mean? So that was the first big mistake.
The broker bond company, doesn't do dry run fees. That's awesome.
No,
they don't validate parking and they don't pay dry run fees.
Yeah. So Jen calls the dealership and the guy goes, look, we pulled this car out for this guy last night. He didn't show up. We put it back in the sublot. Well, we told him it was going to take us an hour to go over the sublot and get the car, blah, 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 blah. Well, Jen goes, okay, that's fine. So we tell the driver, okay, they told you, we're telling you it's going to be an hour. He goes, okay. So the 30 minutes later, the dealership calls us back and says, your guy hasn't even called us. Where is he? So he'd been sitting in the parking lot and never even told him he was there.
Why would he do that? Why would he do that?
I don't know. I guess he just assumed that, they're going to let him have the car. He called, but he never told him, hey, I'm here ready for the car. He just was sitting out there. So he got all butt sore for no reason just because he didn't do his job, basically.
Here comes the butt sore. You know what's funny about what I think is really funny about this industry is the guy that sat there and didn't tell anybody. It's kind of like the Darwinian, man evolves from ape. What I'm saying is, listen, man, evolve, dude. Pick up a phone and call somebody. Stop with the thinking that, it's you make an ass out of me and you.
Yes.
Dude, just call somebody. How hard, you got I know you got a cell phone because you're on it. Making, he's in the parking lot making TikToks. Call somebody. Jeez.
Yeah. And you're calling us and chewing us out about something you have no control about, but you don't.
I'm sitting here. Hey, I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here. What are y'all doing? Did you tell anybody?
Yeah.
I said I'm sitting here.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it.
I did.
I will say he did have a dispatcher,
Uh-oh.
and we called the dispatcher and told him what went down, and she says, "I will take care of this right away." So I don't know if she was the owner dispatcher or just a dispatcher, but she apologized to us. She called the dealership and apologized to them because he was rude to the guy on the phone as well. And
Right, of
so
course he's
everything got
rude.
smooth.
This is the rude
Uh-huh.
person that, yeah. And I worked for a guy, and he would kind of do stuff like that too. Like, just, I don't know. You start to, I'm going to use a word, entitlement, that you get this sense of entitlement. He got used to feeling like I did everything. Like I picked up the laundry and did all the
Right.
stuff. Like, come on, man. Come on,
But
man.
I've got to pay you, Jay.
Yeah, I got to pay you, and then I got to pay them. Let's search for
Oh.
Terry. Let's do a Terry search. Or what's the prognosis on the Pittsburg, Texas? Looked all right, didn't it?
Yeah, it was fine. Yeah, I mean, you won't have a problem at all. There was
Cool.
plenty of loads on there.
Very cool.
I mean, whether you have a couple packs or whatever, there's plenty of loads on there to get down.
All
there,
right,
so.
well, let's load up the dice for Terry. What are we doing? Albuquerque.
I
3
don't know.
cars. We're
Okay, going to
Albuquerque to anywhere, which I like to call a gold bar search. So we're searching for gold bars. Albuquerque to anywhere, 3 cars. Come on, Jay, you're early on the dice. You're way early. Get the calculator out. Vlad's talking about dispatch center. Ty gave him a call.
Okay.
John says hello. John, or I don't know what that emoji is. What's up, John? How you doing, buddy? All right, let's roll some dice. Albuquerque to anywhere. Here we go.
All right. So that's enclosed. Skipping that. Ugh, Florida, don't do it. That's enclosed. I know there's always stuff from Albuquerque to Houston, Albuquerque to Dallas. Typically, like I said, I don't want you to do Houston. You will get stuck. It's really tight to get out of there. There is 3 right there. The Freeport is the port. So you don't want to do that unless you have a quick card.
Yeah, and that's time. And then add the weather. Oh my gosh, what's that like? People slipping.
Well, I think
all
it's
over.
clearing up today. By the time I got
okay.
there, it'll be
Yeah,
fine.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
Oh,
That is way too cheap.
there's
and
one of
this
your favorite
guy,
brokers.
Just so everybody knows,
yeah, that's
Yes,
one of
I
my
can
favorite
ask about him.
brokers. This is good.
he said, did I tell you last time I asked him for one of these F450s? I asked what it was, and it was like 18,000 pounds. And this is the one I said, will you do 700? And he says, will you do 400? Yeah, it's that guy. And they always have a crane on them. They're always a dump bed. So they're never just an F450 or an F550. Let's see.
Speculating, allegedly, etc. The opinions on this show are not shared by anybody at all.
I do have the text to prove, though.
Oh,
All right, anyways. moving on.
allegedly.
Allegedly. There's stuff going to Colorado, but Colorado's going to be tough to get out of, and got to have chains. You probably have to have chains in Albuquerque right now, too. I'm not sure. They do have a pretty strict chain law in Colorado, though. There is stuff going to Florida, but same thing. I don't do Florida. I'm really surprised these Florida ones are at least paying 50 cents a mile because they usually don't. So I'm kind of shocked. Must be the weather. Wow. There's a red card for you right there. Going to Savannah for 27 cents a mile. Couple going up to Idaho. Davenport, Wichita, Liberal, Kansas. There's a Santa Fe going to Liberal and a Albuquerque going to Wichita. I don't know where Liberal is exactly. I have a feeling it's on your way in. That's a good one. The service has a nice one going to New Orleans there.
Really? Which one is that one? Oh, the Yukon.
I
Yeah.
think that's the only one on there.
Yeah, that is a good one.
It's not bad.
That's probably a dealer, be my
Massachusetts.
guess.
Massachusetts, Maryland. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Although hey, they were talking about
Wow.
weather. New Orleans
is a red
weather
truck,
right
and
now
you send in close for
is
52
another
cents a
one.
mile. It's okay. Yeah, no, but
Ooh.
it's okay. I was just there.
Oh, okay, it's okay. Hey, by the way, Terry, good question. How hard is it to get a rail yard access card? Sue.
What do you mean? What is a rail yard access card?
That's exactly right. What's a
Because all my
rail
guys
yard?
go in the rail yard, but
Yeah.
they don't have to have
You
one.
you shouldn't need
As far as I know.
yeah, you shouldn't need a credential to get into a rail yard. You do for the port because this is Homeland Security stuff.
Uh-huh.
But rail yards, I don't think I've heard of that before. I don't think they have those.
No, I'm not, and my guys go and pick up from them all the time, and we haven't had to.
And same thing,
Oh,
manufacturing
let's see.
plant. As long as they have the thing is with a manufacturing plant, there's a security guard location, so they
That you
have
deal
to.
with.
I think you have to have the VIN that you're picking up. There's a little bit of checks and balances there.
Yes, and then they send you to where it's like a, what do they call it, a bay. And a bay is really not a bay that you drive into. The bay is a number written or painted on the ground in front of the car.
Oh, I know. I
That had to
love that
happen with
about
it.
rail. And if it, but if it's not there, that's not
Yeah.
good.
No. And it does happen.
Yeah, I know.
Man, there's not a lot out of here, man.
Albuquerque's tough. It is. Yeah. No, I knew that right away. Which is where
Here's
Terry.
anyway.
We're gonna keep on searching, but Terry, you should join us on Cars on the Move tomorrow. Ty is in the live chat.
And I mean, keep in mind, this is going to change. I mean, constantly.
Oh,
so.
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
That's right. Pro tip: don't get discouraged. We've been searching for like 2 minutes.
40 degrees
Right.
down
Yeah,
there,
it's going to change on
so
you.
everything is melting.
I mean, here's one for Lone Star going down to Austin.
I like that one,
And it's
and I like
Here's one
Austin.
going to Dallas. And it's not ready till the 21st, which
Yeah.
is
What's it?
on Sunday.
W4500? Is that a tractor?
No, that's going to be a GMC 4500 pickup truck.
Oh, it's a pickup
So
truck. Okay.
actually, yeah. So depending on the size, if it's got a crane in it, whatever, that's good money. You're still not going to be able to take two with it.
Okay.
A Certus has a good one on here going into Dallas.
Hmm.
I don't actually to Midlothian even.
Nice.
I don't know what it is because it has
everything
mix
is
on
melting.
it.
It's 44 degrees right
Which I
now.
can go check
It'll be
for us
48
here.
Tomorrow, 56 on
United
Saturday.
Road has
and
one.
What I'm
It's kind of cheap going into Dallas. It's Duncanville.
I have another driver.
Looks
that
like
will
most of the
be
loads
here
right
tomorrow,
now out of
and
Albuquerque are
everything
running
is
into
open.
Houston, which, like I said, I don't really do. But if you wanted to go there, there's plenty of loads going down to Houston. Just keep in mind, if you're going to go to Houston, you have to have a dispatcher because it takes us sometimes 2 days to get out of Houston while the driver is driving or ready to go out on the road, kind of thing. It's rough. And well, I mean, there's loads on there that are just really crappy. Let's just put it that way.
Well, it's
There's
interesting you
another-
say that because what
No.
just to add what you said about Houston and having a dispatcher. Actually,
Uh-huh.
Houston is the original reason you see that dartboard logo I've got. Houston,
Uh-huh.
Maybe that.
I used to equate booking out of Houston to spinning a dartboard and then throwing a dart, because meaning that the loads that get posted out of Houston, God, it's a funnel of wonder. I mean, from Portland to Miami to Vermont, you never know what's coming up next. Things get booked quickly. So if you're a driver and you're trying to make money booking out of Houston, I don't know how you have time. I have no idea.
Yeah, because you have to be like on that, and we're here looking at it, and we still don't get them because I mean they're
Right.
going and coming as fast as they come up.
Yeah, because it is a high frequency delivery location for a lot of carriers all over the place. Yeah, you got to be quick on the draw.
Look at this Metro one that's paying so low. See what it is.
Right. Pro tip: if you see a load from a company that also has an internal load board, go to that load board and make sure it's there before you get
Wow,
excited.
it's only 2,500, and it's paying $700.
Great.
You could put that with that F450 and
Yeah.
go roll with those two,
Nice.
and that's all. And that's good money. There is 3 on here going to Salt Lake. If you like going up that way, those aren't paying bad either. And those would fit on a 3-car easy. But honestly, if it was my driver, I'd take this one that we're looking at right here, and I would talk to this guy and ask him for more money on that 4,500, and I'd roll with those two, and you're making over your $2 a mile right there. So that would be my thought. And you can get out of Dallas. Dallas is, to me, easier than.
Agreed.
I don't like to send my guys up in the weather, so I don't usually go to
I would-
city. So I would roll them into Dallas. Get out of Dallas.
Yeah, Albuquerque to Dallas, New Orleans, first choice.
Yeah.
Salt Lake City, maybe second or third choice. Salt Lake City can be.
And you could honestly,
Maybe.
you can mix this. I mean,
Yeah.
you wanted to end up in New Orleans, you take this one here, and you also take the other one for a service into New Orleans.
Exactly.
And you drop and pick along the way. Just keep in mind, when you're doing this, you got to make enough money for 2 days, because you're going to lose a day in Dallas where you're going to be dropping and picking, and then you're going to end up in New Orleans the next day. So if you're not making enough money to do it for 2 days, then don't do it. Go all to Dallas and then move out of Dallas. That's what you have to look at it.
So that's right. And know what day you're picking up. Give yourself enough time to ultimately deliver in New Orleans and still pick up in Dallas and deliver, plus the weather, add a little bit of extra sugar for good measure. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, we've had a rough time with the weather the last 2 weeks of keeping the guys,
Out of
out of it as much as we can, and I mean it's kind of crazy. We also need to we need to discuss something. On most 3-car carriers, do you find that they have $100,000 in cargo or $150,000 in cargo?
That's a really good question. 3-car carriers, I think a lot do the 100, but the bigger companies will expect 150. And I find that
Absolutely.
I think that as companies grow, they realize that and they go from the 100 to the 150, but a lot of newer companies will be at 100. You agree with that?
Right. Absolutely. I think always, because when they come to us, they start out at 100, and I'm like, man, you don't understand. You really need 150. It's not just for the brokers that you want to sign up with. It's also for your worst case scenario. If you were to total everything and you had even one Mercedes or one BMW on there, you're screwed, because that Mercedes is probably $50,000 right there. That's half of your load. And the rest of your other 2 cars, you're going to be underinsured, and you're going to pay that difference out of your pocket. They're coming after you for the difference. So just always keep that in mind. At least if you have 150,000, you have a $50,000 car on there, and you have 2 $20,000 cars on there, then you're covered no matter what. I've had this happen. That's why I always talk about it a lot. And I don't think a lot of the guys think, okay, it's cheaper to have 100,000, but is it really? Yes, it's cheaper in the beginning, but if something were to happen, it's not cheaper anymore.
And that's the problem. The cost of insurance is not just another utility bill. This is your, it's kind of, this is your escape hatch. This
Your livelihood.
is your livelihood is a better way to put it. And so here's the really bad news is they're talking about raising insurance minimums, right?
I heard that.
And I don't think it's just talk anymore. It's gone to the next stage of likelihood. So stay tuned to that.
The liability
Rough,
part of it,
dude.
right?
Oh my gosh.
Aren't they talking about the liability going up to what, $2 million or something like that?
Well, that's the thing. I don't know which. I don't know if we're talking liability, if we're talking cargo. I don't know what we're talking
I
about.
think it's cargo.
Is it cargo?
No, I think it's a
liability.
liability. I think they're wanting to raise the liability minimum.
That makes sense because that's what
To
the plaintiff.
double it.
That's what the plaintiff attorneys are going to be more interested in. They're not worried about the cargo at all.
Yeah.
They represent people.
Yeah, so pay
Because
off.
this
Yes,
is
exactly.
not, we're not going to double safety. We're just going to double your cost. Really what we're going to
Right.
double is the ability to we're going to double the amount we can get awarded in court We're not doubling safety.
Um,
Take it easy. We're not doubling safety. We're doubling the amount of money we can win in the lottery. Okay?
Right.
I hate
Right.
Okay, good.
Right.
Speaking of, on that wonderful note, because I think we usually end on a jolly note on Dispatching Live. I may be a pessimist, but I am a realist, and we try to keep it real. This is Dispatching Live. We're at the 90-minute mark, and I think we accomplished everything. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I want to thank everybody for, participating in the live chat. Folks that are watching, if you're in a business and you're just sitting back watching, getting information, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. There's no need to say anything except absorb and learn. This is the reality. This is what it's like for carriers and dispatchers trying to turn a buck in this business. It's not easy, especially with crazy weather and everything else.
Nope.
Rob, I'm glad you're safe. And if you're taking a snow day at home, Michael, John, good call. And I know, some folks have to be out there working. And so everybody, I just hope everyone is safe, and I hope this is helpful. Final thoughts, Sue?
Yeah. Well, I'm with you. Stay safe. The weather hopefully is getting better next week, and hopefully Puxatawny Phil, we're almost done with the 6 weeks left of winter. Who knows?
That Punxsutawney Phil was 2 weeks ago, so we got another month. So everybody, hang on to your.
No!
Yeah.
Just Jay, I got
Uh-oh.
We're pretending, okay?
I think I shocked the system again. Hang on to your steering wheels and your laptops. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but we're here. We care. We want to help you. This is Auto Transport Intel. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please be sure to join us tomorrow on Cars on the Move, Fridays at noon, where Ty is going to talk about business, dealers, auctions, carriers, etc. That's how we round out the week. And get this. Hey, this is definitely in the dispatch arena. Tuesday night, we have Plateau Load Exchange is the Tuesday night show. This is with the ClearPath TMS guys. And Plateau is the overarching architecture to help connect. You know the driver that says, I got too many apps? Plateau is all about making your life better. If you've got too many apps, you're sick of it, watch the show Tuesday night. These guys want to help fix that problem. So be sure to join us. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe. Keep us posted. And we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody. Thank you. Bye. All right. See you later. Thank you so much.